So good morning, everyone. Namaste to each of you. Thank you for joining me today to honor your mind and your body and your spirit. Let's take a moment to become fully present. So finding a nice, comfortable seated position where you can sit with a nice long back and back of your neck, opening your chest, opening your heart, opening your breathing passages. And then gently close your eyes and soften your thoughts. Soften your eyes. Soften your shoulders. Soften your heart. Observe your breath as it is, soft and gentle, breathing life into you with each inhale and relaxation with each exhale. Feel the grace of being present, returning to that awareness again and again. You may open your eyes now. For this morning's intention, you may think of a positive word or phrase to have with you on your mat and perhaps carry with you throughout the day. This morning's intention, I'm going to honor Earth Day, which is next Thursday, and I've employed the help of my Norfolk pine tree to help us in that. And that tree actually is with us each yoga class. It's in the corner you can't see, but I'm putting it here so that to illustrate a point. So in honoring Earth Day, I thought it's a great way of using the first two limbs of yoga, the Yamas and Niyamas, to use them as guidelines to honor the earth. So for the Yamas, which are the guidelines for interactions with others, the first one is kindness, which you can think of by not harming the earth, non-violence, non-harming of the earth. Truth, the second yama, is understanding the truth of our actions, how our actions affect the earth. Non-stealing, the third yama, which comes from a place of lack. So you could think of it as recognizing the abundance of gifts the earth freely gives us. The fourth yama, non-excess, using only what we need from the earth. Fifth yama, non-possessiveness, understanding that we are caretakers, not owners of the earth. And then for the niyamas, and those are the guidelines and how we interact with ourselves, we could still apply that to the earth. So number one of the niyamas is purity. So doing our part to keep the air, the water, and the land clean and pure. The second yama, contentment, being grateful for the gifts of the earth and nature. The third niyama, self-discipline, being grateful for the gifts, already said that, restraining from overusing the resources. So self-discipline, restraining from overusing resources. The fourth niyama, self-study, understanding how nature interacts with us and every being. And the last niyama, surrender, releasing our need to control the earth. So we'll also do a meditation this morning that is a type of meditation called mindful meditation. Mindfulness is the ability to be fully present and being aware of what we're experiencing through our senses, through our thoughts, and through our emotions. So today we're going to practice a mindful meditation with our guest, the Norfolk pine tree, and invoking the covenant of reciprocity. So when we breathe in, we're breathing in oxygen, and when we breathe out CO2. And the reciprocity is that the tree breathes in the CO2 that we just exhaled, and it breathes out oxygen, which we inhale. So there's a reciprocal relationship with us and the earth, Mother Nature. So for our meditation, get comfortable and just closing your eyes and focusing. If you have a plant in your room, or sending it out through the windows to the trees, but focus on that relationship that we have with the earth, with nature, and that how our actions interact with their actions. And this is a very clear case of one giving us life-sustaining oxygen and us giving them life-sustaining CO2. So let's just meditate for a moment, and I will meet you on the mat. You may open your eyes now. We'll start our asana practice. We'll warm up the body, and you can continue sitting on your blanket or cushion. We'll start by doing some shoulder shrugs. So relax your shoulders, let them fall down gently, and then bring them to the front. Guide them up toward your ears, guide them away from the front, bringing your shoulder blades together, and then guide them down toward the mat. Just create that nice, gentle, and relaxing circle with your shoulders. Breathe deeply so that you can feel the oxygen nurture your body. And then reverse the direction slowly and gently. And then relax your shoulders, bringing your fingertips out to the side. We'll do some sun breaths. And today's practice, if you remember the Ujjayi, the ocean breath, that sounds like an ocean, but also sounds like Darth Vader breathing. That would be a great breath to use throughout our practice today. So inhale deeply through your nose, bringing your arms up overhead. And then exhale through your nose, bringing your arms down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, arms down. Have that breath emanating from the back of your throat. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And then we'll put a twist on that. So we're going to inhale, bring our arms up, twist to the left side of our mat, bring our hands down, right hand lands on your left knee, left hand lands right behind your hips, keeping your back nice and straight and long. Take another inhale and exhale. And then inhale, bringing your arms up. Come back to center and then twist over to the right. Exhale, bringing your left hand down on your right knee, your right hand down behind your hips. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift up your arms, bringing back to center. Twist to the left. Exhale, bring your arms down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Twist back to center. And one last time, turning to the right, bringing your hands down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift your arms up. Twist back to the center and bring your arms down. We'll come up onto our hands and knees into tabletop. You can keep your blanket under your knees if you'd like that extra cushion. Your wrists are right below your shoulders. Fingers are splayed out. Knees right below your hips. And navel's tucked to your spine. And we're going to actually back up a little bit. We're going to walk our hands slowly out and come into extended puppy. So keeping your knees exactly where they are and your hips where they are. Come down, walking your hands down to the top of the mat and bringing your forehead down to the mat so that your third eye is resting on the mat. Nice stretch. And continue with your breaths. And then we're going to walk our hands back slowly, but we're going to, at the same time, we're going to lower our hips to our ankles and come into child's pose. So you can have your knees about hip width apart, or you can widen them to the edges of the mat if that's more comfortable. Then we're going to walk our hands, and you can lift your head up if that's more comfortable. You walk our hands over to the right side of the mat. perhaps going off the mat a little bit till you find a nice comfortable stretch along your left side. And then walk the hands back to center. And then walk the hands over to the right side and keep walking until you find a nice comfortable stretch along your right side. And then walk your hands back to center. Come back up to tabletop. Get yourself realigned in tabletop, navel's tucked to the spine, wrists are right below the shoulders. And then exhale, we're gonna round our back for cat, dropping our head and pelvis down. Inhale, lift our head and tailbone up for cow. Exhale, rounding our back, dropping our head and our tailbone down. Tucking our navel to the spine. Inhale, lift your head and tailbone up. Pushing down in your hands to create that space between your shoulders and your ears. Exhale, round your back, the cat. Inhale, lift your head and tailbone for cow. And continue at your own pace using deep inhales and exhales, synchronizing those with your movements. And then come back to tabletop. You're gonna come back into a kneeling position. So you rest your hips on your ankles. If that's uncomfortable, you could push your knees down and stay in an upright position, or another version of resting on your heels would be having your toes tucked under. We'll come into your what is comfortable for you for kneeling, and then we're going to bring our hands around to behind our hips and interlace the fingers. And then inhale, extend your arm out. Exhale, bring your interlaced fingers to your right hip for chest openers. Inhale, extend the arms out. Exhale to the left side, left hip. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, bringing over to the right hip. Inhale, extend out. Exhale to the left hip. Inhale, extend out. One last time to the right hip. Inhale, extend out. And one last time to the left hip. Relax your hands, and we'll come back to tabletop so that we can curl our toes under if you haven't done so already, and walk your hands back, coming into a squat, and then push down to rise up, come into mountain pose. So with mountain pose, you bring your toes so that they're straight with the edge of the mat. Lift your toes up off the mat and spread them apart as far as you can. And then bring them back down to the mat, lifting your heels up off the mat. And then bring that down. So feel that strength and support and energy of the earth coming up into you. So coming up through your legs, the legs are nice and straight and strong, gentle bend in the knees, energy coming up to your hips, navel's tucked into your spine, then coming up to through your ribs up to your chest, shoulders are relaxed and rolled back, spine is elongated, chin is tucked in slightly, crown of your head's reaching up to the sky. Take a nice inhale, breathe in that oxygen, a nice exhale, letting go that CO2 to your friend the tree. So inhale again, sweeping our arms up overhead. And exhale, bringing our hands down to the mat, bending our knees generously. And just take a moment here to check in with your body. Focus on that reciprocal nature of taking in oxygen and exhaling CO2, carbon dioxide. Inhale, sweeping your hands halfway up, come into half forward fold. Hands on the shins or touching the ground or mat, whichever is comfortable for you. Back is flat, gaze is down, chest is open. Exhale, forward fold, bringing the crown of your head down toward the mat. And then inhale, sweeping your hands from the mat, from the earth, all the way up to the sky. Having your hands overhead. Bringing your right hand to your right thigh and sliding that right hand down toward your right knee for a side stretch. Inhale, come back up. And exhale, bring the left hand down, slide that down toward your left knee. A nice side stretch. Inhale, come back up. And again on the right side, right hand to right thigh, slide it down toward your knee. Inhale, come back up. And the left side. Sliding it down. Nice gentle stretch. Bring both hands back up overhead. And then bring them down to the mat. Again, you can bend your knees, support your lower back for forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, half forward fold, flat back. Exhale, forward fold, bringing the crown of your head down toward the ground. Inhale, sweep your hands from the ground all the way up to the sky, bringing your palms together up overhead, and then bring your palms to your heart center. We'll lift our right leg up. So we're going to try to find that strength and support and energy from the earth up through our left leg, as well as stability. And then I invite you to make your favorite tree. So either having your ankle touched by your heel so that your foot's on the mat, or bringing your foot up to your shin, or bringing it up to your thigh, whichever works for you today. Maybe my shin. And rise your hands up overhead. And then open them up like you're branching out. And then bring your hands back to heart center. We'll switch sides, so bring your right leg to the mat, to the earth. Lift your left leg up. Find that strength and support, energy from the earth coming through your right leg. Find the stability in your pose. And then again, your favorite version of a tree. Either ankle, heel to ankle, foot to shin, or foot to thigh. And inhale, bring your hands up overhead, and then open them like you're branching out. And bring them back to heart center. And bring your leg back down. Then inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Palms together, bring them down to heart center. And then place the back hands on the back of your hips, fingertips pointing down. Feet about hip width apart. Relax your shoulders and let them roll back. Tuck your chin to your chest. And then we'll just drop our shoulders back for a supported back bend. Remember the deep inhale and exhale. And then come back to mountain pose. And we'll sweep our hands up overhead. And exhale, bringing our hands down to the mat, forward fold. Place your hands on the mat and extend your right leg to the back of the mat, coming into runner's lunge. So your left knee is right over your left ankle. Your right leg is nice and active. The right heel's pushing to the back of the mat. You plant your right hand down on the mat and sweep your left hand up to the sky for a twist. And then exhale, bring that left hand back down. Bring your right knee to the mat and the top of your right foot to the mat. And with your hands lightly touching the mat, we're going to do that half monkey stretch. So you can rest your ribs on your left leg gently, softly, and then straighten out your left leg, bringing your head down toward your knee. And then inhale, come back up. And exhale, straighten out that front leg again, riding your head down toward your knee. Inhale, come back up. And one last time, exhale, straightening that front leg, bringing the head toward the knee. And then coming back up. Tuck your back toe under and come back up to runner's lunge. And then pivot your back foot down so that your foot is resting on the mat. And we're going to push down in our front foot, push down to lift up into warrior one. So bringing your arms up overhead. And if it's comfortable for you, create a nice gentle back bend. Front knees are still over the front ankle. You just see the tips of your big toe out of the corner of your knee. Back edge of your foot's nice and snug into the mat. And then bring both hands back down to the mat. Bring your left foot back to join your right foot, coming into plank position. Both legs are active, pushing both heels to the back of the mat. And then pushing off with your toes, come down in chaturanga, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Keeping your hands below your shoulders, elbows tucked to your side. Push down gently to lift up to cobra. And then exhale, come back down. Tuck your toes under, push down with your arms coming up into downward dog. And you can pedal out here for a few moments. Fingers are spread wide, arms are straight. Chest is reaching toward your thighs. Knees are bent. You can do that with the pedaling. Hips are right up to the sky. And then slowly walk your feet up to your hands and come into a forward fold. And then inhale, sweeping your hands from the ground all the way up overhead, bringing the palms together overhead and bringing your palms to your heart center. Take a couple breaths here, nice deep inhale, oxygen, exhale, carbon dioxide. And then let's sweep our hands up overhead again. Inhaling, exhaling, forward fold. Bringing your hands down to the mat. We're going to extend our left leg back now, coming into runner's lunge. So the front leg, the right leg is knees over the ankle. Back leg is nice and active, pushing the left heel to the back of the mat. And plant our left hand down into the mat and sweep our right hand up to the sky. Nice twist. And then bring that right hand back down. Lower your left knee to the mat and left top of your foot to the mat. And gently, with your fingertips on the mat, straighten out your front leg and ride that front leg, bringing your head toward your knee. Inhale, come back up to the lunge position. And exhale again, slowly straightening out that front leg, bringing the head down toward the knee. Inhale, come back up to lunge. And one last time, straightening out that front leg. Bringing your head down toward the knee. And then inhale, come back up. So then tuck your left toes under, coming back up to runner's lunge position. Pivot your back foot down so that your full foot's on the mat. Then pushing down your front leg, lift up to warrior one. Again, lifting your arms up overhead. If it's available to you, creating a nice, gentle stretch, arch back. Knees over your front knees over your front ankle. Back edge of your foot snug into the mat. Any of the warrior poses really talk about the strength of the earth coming up into you. That rooting down in your feet to the earth, having that energy come up through your legs. And then bring our hands back down to the mat. Bring your right foot back with your left foot and come into plank. And then come down, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. With your elbows tucked to the side, push down gently, lifting up to cobra. And then back down. Tuck your toes under and push down your hands to come up. Lifting your hips up to the sky for downward dog. And hands are spread wide apart. Arms are straight, chest reaching to your thighs. And pedal out here. And then slowly walk your feet up to your hands. Coming into forward fold. Then sweep your hands up overhead, bringing your palms together and sending your palms to your heart center. So the next part, what we're going to do is, in honor of Earth Day next Thursday, we're going to do an Earth salutation. And what we just did was pieces of the sun salutation, which you traditionally do in a lot of yoga classes. And then there's a moon salutation, which we've done before. We've done this Earth salutation last year for Earth Day. And it's kind of a very meditative thing. It's almost like a Tai Chi type of movement. It's very slow. You really, really focus on your breath, that breathing in of oxygen, exhaling of carbon dioxide, CO2, really focus on that. And you have arm movements to start with. So think of it as planting a seed and having the sun come up and the rain come down. So let me show you what I mean by that. So to start with, we're in mountain position and our legs are nice and straight and strong, navel's tucked to our spine, shoulders are relaxed and rolled back. We bring our hands in front of us and you can either interlace them, and if that's not comfortable, just place one palm on top of the other. And as you go, you might see what places where the interlacing will work for you and maybe it won't work for you in different places. So it's available to you. Interlace your fingers. You're going to bring your inhale, deep inhale, bringing your hands up toward your throat. And then flip your hands so that the palms are facing down, pushing down toward the earth. So you're planting the seed now. And then take your hands and bring them out in a semicircle around you. So extend them out in front of you and all the way up overhead. So that's like the sun coming out. And then release your fingers. And if you want, you can kind of wiggle your fingers all the way down to your side like it's raining out. So let's do that again. Bring your fingers, interlace them. Bring them up toward your throat, pulling the seed out of the packet. Flip your hands, pushing down, palms down toward the earth, pushing those seeds down. Perhaps it's the roots of the plant going down. Inhaling, sending your hands out in front and making a half circle so that your hands land up over your head. And then release your hands and let your fingers just rain drops down. And we'll do that one last time. So inhale, bringing your hands up. Exhale, pushing your hands down, rooting down. Inhale, semicircle all the way up and overhead. And exhale, raining down. So now we'll put some lower body movements to this. So take your right leg and extend it out so that you come into a wide-legged stance. Your toes are pointing to the edges of your mat. Heels are tucked in at a 45-degree angle. And we'll do that again with the hands. So inhale, bringing your hands up to the throat. Exhale, down. Inhale, sweeping your hands up overhead. And exhale, raining your fingers down. Clasp your hands together again. Inhale, lifting your hands up. This time we're going to push down and bend our knees so that we're coming into a squat and keeping your torso upright. Just going down is whatever is comfortable for you. And then sweep your hands out and up as you lift your legs up. And then rain your fingers down. Interlace your hands, inhale up. And then we're going to pivot to the right. So pivot your left foot and your right foot to the right. Come into that warrior one position. And then push outward, straight ahead. Inhale, lift your arms up overhead as you pivot back to center. And rain your fingers down. Inhale, interlace your fingers. Bring them up to your throat. And this time we're going to pivot to the left. Come into the lunge position and then push out with your hands. Inhale, lifting up overhead, coming back to center, and rain down with your fingers. Interlace your fingers, come up to the throat. This time we're going to forward fold. So exhale, pushing down, bring the top of your head down toward the mat. Make sure your feet are at that 45-degree angle. Come down as whatever's comfortable, keeping your knees bent as whatever is comfortable to you. And then inhale, sweeping your hands out and up overhead. And rain your fingers down. Bring your right foot back to your left foot, coming back into mountain pose. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Inhale. Whoops, forgot my own. Bringing it out in front. And letting go, rain your fingers down. And we're going to do this on the left side. It's not going to be that much different. So just bring your left foot out to the side, coming into wide-legged stance. Toes are pointing to the corners. Heels are tucked in. Interlace your fingers. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, sweep up. Semicircle overhead. And exhale, rain the fingers down. Clasp them again, inhale up. Exhale, bending the knees, coming down into a squat, torso's upright. Inhale, sending the hands out and overhead. And then raining your fingertips down. Bring your hands together, inhale up to the chest, and we'll pivot to the left. Come into that lunge position and extend your arms out. Exhale. Inhale, lift your hands up overhead. Pivot back to center and rain your fingers down. Inhale, bring your hands up to toward your throat. Pivot to the right. Lunge position. Extend your arms out. Inhale, lift them up overhead as you pivot back to center and rain your fingers down. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. So you're pushing down toward the earth, bringing your crown of your head toward the earth. And then inhale, sweeping your arms up and out overhead. And raining your fingers down. Bring your left foot back to your right foot. Interlace your fingers. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale out in front, semicircle overhead. And exhale, rain the fingers down. So that's the earth salutation. Kind of, especially if you're doing it quietly without me talking and just focusing on the inhale and the exhale, the movements. It's really, really very meditative and very, very soothing. So let us go on to our last parts. So forward fold. So inhale, sweeping your hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. And we come down into tabletop. The wrists are right below your shoulders, knees are right below your hips. We're going to do thread the needles because we've been doing a lot of the arm movement. This is to relax the upper shoulder, upper arm area. So bring your left arm out to shoulder height and then sweep it under your torso, bring it over to the right, bringing your left ear and left shoulder to the mat. And you can keep your right hand on the mat, or you can bring your right hand to back of your hip, or send it up to the sky, opening up your chest. But since we had a lot of upper arm movement, be nice just to relax it, either on your hip or on the mat. And then we push down in your right hand into the mat, lifting up back to tabletop. And we'll do that on the other side. So lift your right arm up, shoulder height, sweep it under your torso, bringing your right shoulder and your right ear down to the mat. And push down into your left hand, coming back up to tabletop. And then we're going to come down, roll down to the mat. So you can cross your legs if this works for you and come back to a seated position. Kind of a shortcut way of getting to a seated position. And then roll down on your back, either one vertebrae at a time or express method. I'll go with express method today. And then gently hug your knees to your chest, rocking back and forth, massage your lower back. And place both feet on the mat and tuck your heels toward your hips, as comfortable as they can get, and being as close to your hips as they can get. We'll do a few supine cats and cows. So we're going to round our back, lifting our pelvis up, but keeping our back and hips on the mat. And then exhale, arching our back, tilting our pelvis down. So they're kind of pelvis tilting up, inhale, and exhale, tilting down. And that would be the cow, tilting up, rounding your back, that would be the cat. You could also think of it as making little ripples in a stream. So just with your tail, like you're a fish, instead of going back and forth, you're going up and down, making little ripples down the stream. Inhale and exhale. Then on the next inhale, push down into your feet and lifting your hips up toward the sky, come into bridge. So you create a little bridge over that stream. Knees are parallel with one another, not splayed out. Head is gazing up to the sky. Hands are alongside with the palms down to support you. And then slowly lower down to the mat, one vertebrae at a time. And then start your rippling effect again. Inhale, exhale, cat, cow. Then on the next inhale, push down into your feet. Lift your hips up to the sky, keeping your knees parallel. And then slowly come back down, one vertebrae at a time. And one last round of supine cat cow. Inhale, exhale. And then on the next inhale, lift your hips up to the sky, pushing down into your feet. Maybe extend your chest up a little higher if you're able to. And be sure your knees are parallel to one another. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, bring your back down to the mat. Inhale, bring your knees to your chest, give them a nice hug. And with your toes pointed, draw nice big circles with your legs, your lower part of your legs. And then the other direction. And then last move is something that we might be able to do together or not. So it's called legs up a wall. The first way I learned it is called ants up a tree. And it's basically, look at my blanket here. You can keep your legs at a chair angle if you don't have any support. Or if you have the ability to, you can lift your legs up to the sky, putting a little bit of either your hands or a blanket below your hips. But the actual pose, and that's why I'm not sure if it's available to everyone. I know Jim and Diane can go over to a wall. So go over to a wall, have your hip against the wall, and then just lift your legs up the wall. And this is called legs up a wall, obviously, or ants up a tree. And I have found, now that I'm getting back into gardening prior to the snow, that when I come in from gardening, my back is sore, very sore. If I do this for 5 minutes, and I do it in the kitchen with my kitchen cabinets being the wall, I guess I could do it here, but my place of comfort is because I have a rug right where the cabinets are. So I lay on the rug and I send my legs up the cabinets, and they, you know, the countertop comes about here or maybe a little higher up. And just sitting there for 5 minutes is amazing how it restores my back. So just while you're out working in the earth, you need a little bit of comfort on the other end of your labor. Try this out. So for those who don't have support here and kind of left hanging, you can come into Shavasana, because that's where we're going next. Or you can stay in your legs up a wall, whatever is most comfortable for you. So preparing for Shavasana, get nice and comfortable. And just let your body relax into the mat, into the earth. Let that feeling of the earth supporting you just really resonate throughout your body, that energy from the earth coming into your body. Flop open your feet, relax your ankles and your knees. Relax your hips. Relax the spine, bringing it into the mat, feeling that support of the earth. Relax your shoulders, back of your head. Let your arms just relax, open, palms up to the sky. Let the nutrients of today's practice soak deep within you. And place a gentle smile upon your lips. I'm going to read a portion from the book Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. This is part of the Thanksgiving address. We are thankful to our mother, the earth, for she gives us everything that we need for life. She supports our feet as we walk about upon her. It gives us joy that she still continues to care for us, just as she has from the beginning of time. To our mother, we send thanksgiving, love, and respect. Now our minds are one.